Welcome back to Just Piddling Barbecue. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. This weekend is St. Patrick's Day weekend, and I didn't want to let the weekend go by without doing a cook inspired by St. Patrick's Day. So I've been trying to get some ideas from different places and looking at different YouTube subscriptions that I have and that kind of thing. And so I've come up with something I think you're really going to like. Just about everybody's doing corned beef. So I kind of wanted to stay away from that. Everybody's seen that and done that. But I'm going to do a St. Patrick's Day inspired beef short ribs braised in some Guinness beer. I'm also going to do a smoked whole cabbage. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. I've got some inspiration from that as well, and maybe even get my wife to do some mashed potatoes along with it. Two people I want to give shout outs to real quick. Shane Draper over at Gorilla Grills. He did an outstanding feast for St. Patrick's Day. Go over to gorillagrills.com recipes and check that out, or Gorilla Grills YouTube channel. He did a great corned beef and a whole smoked cabbage. So give that a look. And also Malcolm Reed over at How to Barbecue Right. He's done a great recipe on some short ribs. It's kind of where I've got the short ribs from, but I'm going to do my St. Patrick's Day twist on it using Guinness beer. So with that being said, let's get started. All right, these are the short ribs, and basically these are individual short ribs. They've already been cut into individual pieces. You got the bone right there, and then you've got the meat right there, and you can really see how much meat is on these short ribs. These things look outstanding. Got a good fat cap on them. That should render down throughout the cook. I'm just gonna rub all these with olive oil and get a good coating of olive oil on them, so that this rub will stick. All right, now I've got them coated with olive oil. I'm just going to season them up, and I'm going to be using this Dizzy Pig's Red Eye Express. If you can see that, Dizzy Pig's Red Eye Express. It's a coffee infused barbecue rub, and I think it's got some good flavors that'll go well with this beef. So I'm going to give them a good coating. Now this beef, I mean, it'll stand up pretty well to a decent amount of rub, so don't be scared with your rub on these beef ribs. And I'm going to get all these coated with that on all sides. Flip all these over. Make sure everything's coated real well before I take them to the smoker. All right, now that I've got them coated with Dizzy Pig's Red Eye Express, I'm going to go back in and sprinkle some Jacobsen's Cherrywood smoked salt. This stuff right here is outstanding. You need to give them a look, Jacobsen's Salt Company. This stuff right here has got a great smoky smell to it. And I'm just going to give this a nice sprinkling also, and just kind of pat it in there. Along with this, we're going to go in with some mesquite smoke on the smoker, along with some apple smoke. I've got mesquite pellets and apple pellets on the smoker. So I'm going to get some of this salt patted in, and then we're going to take this stuff out to the smoker. All right, now what we're going to do is season this cabbage. And what we're going to do with this cabbage, first of all I did was core the cabbage, and I got down as deep as I could with it. It's probably about 1.5 inches wide, just right around that root right there. You can see about how far I went around, and just cored it out the best I could. You're not going to be able to get it in one hunk. You're going to have to kind of dig down through there. and get it out. But once you've got your well dug out, then you want to start putting some pats of butter in there and just kind of shove it all the way down to the bottom with your finger. And then come in with some rub. And what I'm going to use today, bacon always goes good with cabbage. So I'm going to use Meat Church's barbecue rub, bacon barbecue rub. So I'm going to put a little bit down in there and then put some more butter. Stuff it down in there. A little bit more rub. A little bit more butter. A little more rub. A little more butter. I'm also going to add just a touch of this smoked salt that I used on the ribs to give a little smoky flavor. One more pat of butter. And then mash all of that down in there really good. And then the last thing I'm going to put in there is just a skosh of apple cider vinegar. And let it soak down in there. And that's going to help the steaming process and help it cook. You can kind of work it down in there with your finger if you can. Work it on down in there. And then one more pat of butter on top. Actually, I won't do the whole thing right there. So it's really about a half a stick of butter. Put that on there. Tad more rub on top. And then if you like, you can put the top back on it. And what you can do is run you some toothpicks in there, and that's going to hold the top on. That's ready to go to the grill. Alright guys, I'm out here at the Silverbac. I've got it heated up to 275 degrees. That's what I'm going to be cooking at. So we're fixing to get the cabbage on. We're also going to get the beef short ribs on. And then just start letting it get cooked and get some smoke. Go ahead and put the cabbage on, and you can see I got the toothpicks holding the top in. I'm going bone side down on these. I'm going to use 2 of these little racks just so I give them plenty of space to get some smoke on them. Bone side down. Here's the other rack. Man, these things are going to be good. Alright, there they go. 275 degrees. We'll check on them here in a little while. Alright, the beef short ribs and the cabbage have been on the grill for about an hour and a half. And now's the time I need to go ahead and get the braising liquid ready to go. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and get this braising liquid put together and put on the grill and go ahead and warm it up, get it up to temperature so that we're not putting those short ribs in a cold liquid. Those will be already up to temperature as well. So that's what we're going to do. Right here I've got a 6-ounce can of tomato paste, and I've put it in one of these Pyrex measuring cups, and I'm going to go in with some beef stock. I'm just going to pour that in to the tomato paste, probably about 2 cups of beef stock. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix that together with a fork, just to kind of mix up some of that thick tomato paste. And then I'm going to pour it in this dish. That'll be good. Now I'm just going to pour it in this pan. Alright, now I've taken 1 head of garlic, and I'm just going to set that garlic side down, both sides, in that dish, and that's going to give it some garlic flavor. I've got some chopped up onion, and this is thick, home style, rustic, big pieces that I'm putting in here. I'm going to go in with that onion. Got some baby carrots. I'm going to put those in here as well. And then I've got a half of one of these containers of mushrooms. I'm going to go in with those, put those in, spread those around. I've got some sprigs of thyme, fresh thyme. I'm going to spread those around throughout. A little bit of our rub, our Dizzy Pig Red Eye Express. Give a couple dashes of that. And then the star of the show, or I should say the co-star, 1 Guinness beer. Now when this heats up and cooks, starts reducing down, this is going to add some great flavor to those short ribs. Now I'm going to take my fork and just kind of incorporate everything together. That rub, the beef stock, the tomato paste, all our aromatic vegetables. Now I'm fixing to go out there and put this on the grill and let it come up to temp as well. All right, we've been going just about 2.5 hours, and I think we've got about enough color as I want to get on these short ribs before I put them in this braising liquid. I'm going to stir this braising liquid around a little bit, and that stuff is smelling outstanding right now. So first thing I'm going to do is take these ribs and lay these down in this braising liquid to finish. Great color. Smell that Guinness in this braising liquid. Good beef stock flavor. Alright, now that I've got those in there, I can take the racks off. Foil it. Nice and tight. And we're going to let that braise. Now, with the cabbage, what I'm going to do, pull this forward, see if I can pick it up, lay that on the foil, and wrap that up nice and tight. Alright, now, Shane Draper cheat is put a little tinfoil ring down, then set your cabbage down on there. That way your cabbage won't roll over and you lose all your juices from that. Make sure that's nice and tight. Shut the lid and let it go. Alright, I just pulled everything off. The total cook time was 4 hours and 15 minutes. And that was at 275 degrees. The cabbage is done as well. I'm fixing to take this tin foil off. And man, look at that color. And the smell is unbelievable. I'm fixing to transfer these short ribs into this dish so that I can strain this liquid and use it as a little gravy over the ribs. Now that bone right there is to come completely out. I'm going to try to keep it with it. Look at that right there. Oh, that one's falling apart. Try to keep the bones with them. I'm going to take all these out and then strain this liquid to make a juice. Alright, we're fixing to plate this up and do a taste test. I'm going to get that one right there. And that one right there. Brandy was kind enough to do some nice mashed potatoes. We've got our braised, smoked Guinness beef short ribs. And we've got our smoked cabbage with butter, apple cider vinegar, and a little bit of rub in there. Let's give these short ribs a taste. Look at that smoke ring. That beef flavor that's coming through the braising liquid with the Guinness. It's not overpowering at all. Rub adds a really good flavor to it. That's really good. Try it with a little cabbage. You gotta try this. Until the next video, I'll be peeling.